folks. Richie, Six String Fun. If you didn't recognize that one, that is Murder Incorporated, Bruce Springsteen, and the E Street Band. But we're going to do this solo on the acoustic guitar. Sounds pretty cool if you want to strip it down. One of his heavier songs, if you want to call it that, in the whole catalog, I think. So for sure, it's up there with that. If you're not familiar with this one, this is kind of where it was out there for a while, probably in the 84 sessions for Born in the USA, around there, I think. And then made an appearance on the Greatest Hits in 95. There was, I forget how many songs were on there. 18 songs? No. Anyway, whatever the songs were, there were several other ones that kind of were new. You had that. You had Blood Brothers. You had, I don't know. Now I'm drawing a blank. But there was a couple of them on there. So check it out. If you're new to the catalog, check it out for sure. Maybe Secret Guard was on there too. And I feel like there was 4. And I should know this. This Hardland. I think those were the 4. If I named 4. We're going to leave it there for now. But Murder Incorporated, going to keep it very simple. An E5 or an E, or E minor. Not a full E major, but one of either E5 or an E minor you can pull it off with. A D or a D5. Even a D sus2 with that open E. Kind of like that. The G, I'm going to play a full G chord on that one. So you've got that. And then an A. Maybe even like a power chord if you want to. I got a rattle in here somewhere. I don't know where it is. I got to figure that out. And then we got a B minor in there for the bridge part. And as well, there's a C, but I'm going to play like a C power chord. To a B. All right. So that's how we'll get into it. Hopefully you enjoy this one. Again, thank you for everyone who supported the channel. I really do appreciate it. If you're looking to support in some way, if you go to the sixstringfun.com shop page, I've got some shirts up there. Portions of those proceeds are going to an animal rescue down in the Carolinas where we got our dog Kona. So actually I've got the Kona guitar shirt. So check it out. Just my public service announcement to kind of help keep the lights on here. So let's check it out. We're going to go into this E5. All right, we're coming in on that to a D, to the G. So we're going to repeat. So when you get to that A the second time, I go open 2, 3, 4 strings, back to the A. And that's your progression for the intro for the verse. Just that's going to keep repeating. So if we... I'm just gonna go ready, please beneath this pillow. Right? And keep repeating. Now, the pre-chorus, or the chorus, I guess it depends how you look at it. Yeah, it's a pre-chorus. It's the same chords, so for the sake of dynamics, I would change it up a little bit. So I was kind of playing almost like power chords. When I had them right. Take a look around you, come on now. A full A, I guess. I'm going E minor. Take a look around you. D sus2. I'm getting that open E in there. G to the A. So if you get that E string to ring out, it just kind of helps with the dynamics and just what you're hearing. And then the chorus, we get back into the heavier stuff. Second verse at that point, I forget how it starts. You'll remind me. Anyway, second verse continues, right? Pre-chorus again. I forget how that apartment you live in, so outdated or whatever it is. I mean, it's been a while since I sang that one. So, but those are the chords, and then we go into the solo. The solo is going to be same 4 chords, and the solo is up here. And then they're just kind of like these fills to kind of... I don't know where it ends. But you make it your own. and then we go into the bridge. And this is where we change it up for the first time, really, or the only time for the song. To a B minor, to a D, to a B minor, to a D. The comfort, and then it's a C and a B. How does that bridge start? So you keep a little secret down deep inside your dresser drawer, dealing with the heat you're feeling out on the killing floor. Every step you feel you're never out of danger. So comfort, C, comfort. And it goes back to everything we've done already. Here we go. There's your song. The pieces are there. Listen to it. Mix it up however you like, but that's the song right there. If you're playing it as an acoustic duo, and you want to kind of rip a solo, but you don't have the cutaway, which I don't have, it makes it tough, just do an E minor pentatonic run somewhere. E minor in there too. Right? You can play those chords, E and D chord. Get creative. Make it your own. Seriously. You don't have to go note for note. Make it your own if you're going to be doing this, in front of people. Do what you can. Put your own twist on it. So that's the tune. Hopefully you liked it. It's a fun one to play. It really is. Any requests, let me know. I do check the comments. I try to get back as often as soon as I could to some of these comments. So I will see you folks on the next video. Thank you again. Later. What's up, folks? Richie, Six String Fun. Let's get going with some more Springsteen for you here. We're going to look at Better Days off of the Lucky Town album, I guess it is. Yeah, Lucky Town. So, cool song. I've been torn on which way to teach this because from what I remember, it's the E shape and these shapes here for the key of E, but he's tuned down a full step to kind of give it that growl. So even though it's being tuned down a whole step, playing this shape here of E, it's really a D. So if you were to be in standard tuning, which I am, I'm in standard tuning. I'm not going to tune down because 99% of the time you're sitting there with the guitar, it's going to be in standard tuning for you as well. So we'll keep it in standard tuning. I will show you the chord shapes that would go along with playing it in whole step down. All right, but then I'll show you real quick at the end if you want to play along to the album without tuning down the other chord, which is just, again, if it's supposed to be an E, it's really a D. Sonically, it's a D that you're hearing, okay? Let's get into it. Better Days, Bruce Springsteen. Here we go. Again, comes in on this E shape. Now, again, we're a full step down. So I'm calling out the shapes. Unless you're a full step tune down as well, these aren't going to sound good as you're playing along to the record, to the CD, whatever you got. And we'll go into the shapes, the chords later on. I think it's very straightforward. As a matter of fact, I think it's easier to play it in standard with these other chords than we got going on here, but it is what it is. So, comes in on the E. So I'm hitting the E, and I'm hitting those open strings. So it comes in on the E, and then the verse is going to start on the E. So that E is going to be 3 measures. I'm going to change to a C sharp minor. All right. The next part of the verse is going to be an F sharp minor for 2 measures. I'm sorry, it's going to be 3 measures. It's going to be A, so it'll be. Got it. So E for 3 measures, then we go to the C sharp minor, F sharp minor for 3 measures, to the A for a measure. Repeat that. So when you get to the verses, that's going to be the pattern, okay? We go into the, we're coming out of the verse, I guess. Things are better days. Better days, it's true. So we're going to hold that E for 3 measures. We go to the A. We come back to the E for 2 measures, to an F sharp minor, to the E. So, you know, just for like, you know, placement of the song, it'll be better days like you. All right, so we're going to the F sharp. So 2 on the E, F sharp minor, to the A, back to the E. It's kind of like your turnaround, but the same chord to go right back into the verse. We're going to go through the verse just like we just did, okay? Same progression. The E for 3 measures, a C sharp minor, F sharp minor for 3 measures, to the A. Repeat it. And then we're going to come back out of that into the chorus, which we just did. It'll be E for 3 measures, to the A. E for 2 measures. We're going to the F sharp, to the A, to the E. All right. So we've got that already, the chorus again. We're going into the solo. Minor changes to the structure, but not a whole lot of different. Comes in on the A. For 2 measures, to the C sharp minor. For 2 measures. We go to the F sharp minor for a measure. To the A for a measure. To the E for 2 measures. So all together. And you can hear, like, if you were tuned down a whole step, you can kind of hear that growl, that meatiness to these strings, these open strings, being down a whole step, playing that E shape. I mean, I'm in standard, but if you tuned it down, you know, you could hear it. All right, that's the song, folks. It'll just kind of repeat and fade out and go from there. But as I promised, let's go over the other chord shapes that would keep it in the same key without tuning down, basically. Okay, so we mentioned it's tuned down a whole step. All right, and this E shape is really a D because we're tuned down if you're playing to the album, right? If you don't want to tune down, bear with me, I got some notes here. Just make sure I don't screw this up, which I will. Don't worry about it. You just got to move everything down a whole step. So if it's coming in on an E, knowing your position, we start on the D. And you can hear it sounds different. It doesn't sound as... But you come in on the D. Everything stays the same as far as structure. We're just changing up the chords now, okay? So, if we were going to do it real quick, verse is going to be D for 3 measures, to a B minor, to an E minor for 3 measures, to a G, and it repeats. Now, if you're familiar with the song, you could probably start hearing, oh yeah, that's more in line with the key. But the shapes are just different because we're we're in standard tuning. So again, D. All right, that's your verse. So number one, you're going to play that pattern twice for each verse, and you've got, I guess, 3 verses. Okay, verse, chorus, solo, verse, chorus. Basically it. The chorus, again, the D for 3 measures to a G. So again, it's going to be D for 3 measures to a G, D for 2 measures to the E minor, to the G, to the D. All right, there's your chorus. You got 3 choruses right there, okay? Solo, again, we're just changing the key here. It's going to come in on the G, B minor for 2 measures, each of those 2 measures. So G for 2 measures, B minor for 2 measures, E minor, G to the D, and another D. So all together. And as you're doing this, just kind of, if you know the song, just listen for the guitar solo as it in your head, because it's very distinct, okay? Verse, chorus, you're done. All right, so hopefully this helped you out. It really is I didn't think this would kind of lend itself well to the acoustic guitar, and I was wrong. It sounds actually pretty cool, but know what key you want to do it in. If you're standard, if you want to tune it down, keep that in mind, and that'll determine the shapes you want to use. Have fun with it. All right, folks, we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye. What's up, everyone? Richie, 6-String Fun. Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Going back to the Human Touch album with Springsteen, and we're going to take a look at Roll of the Dice. Always liked this one. Just had a nice vibe to it, upbeat. I remember when this came out, and, you know, of course, the reviews went out there. I remember 1 or 2 folks saying, you know, I don't know where it came from. I don't remember. I was actually down in Florida at the time, I think, that they compared this to Born to Run. Okay, I get it, but not sure, but I get it. But it's definitely is upbeat. It has a nice hook to it. I just really dug this song. So one of those songs I've never seen live, and I probably never will at this point, but it's a fun one. Key of C. C. The main chords are going to be C. There's an F, or you can play the F with the C in the bass. No, I guess that open F basically. Right, and then there's a G, and then we got a D minor, and there's some other, like a B flat in there. So it's all over the map, but it works. So you gotta it's definitely more of an intermediate song as far as the chord shapes and all that goes. So we'll take a look at it. There are a couple spots in this song where I've listened to it, and I've seen other people kind of talk about this. There's a chord where some folks will put an E minor in here. I don't hear the E minor. I hear the E in the bass, but it's a C with the E in the bass. I hear that, but we'll go over it, and if I'm wrong, then it's an E minor. But I don't think it's in there, but that E root is definitely in there. All right, so let's get into it. Starts off on a C. I think there's 4 measures of the C. Drums, and you kind of hear the piano, and right, so go. I think it's 4 measures of the C. And the first change will go to an F. So you can play the full bar chord, or you can kind of do this C, but I kind of shift my fingers to get that without using the E strings, basically. So if you're coming out of the C, 2 measures of F, A minor for 2, and then you got your turnaround, which is your G. Just another roll of the dice. So your intro is going to be the same as the verse, and there really isn't a true chorus in here. The chorus is just the back end of the verse. So if you can get that part down, you're like 90% done with the song. So it's going to be C for 4 measures. I can play loose and get blue. To the F. The F. I think it's an A minor. I think some spots I've seen, what I can see from live performances, people doing it, kind of just playing like an A5, which isn't terrible, but if you're on the acoustic guitar, I like the A minor sound. 2 measures of the F. A minor. Just another roll of the dice. So it'll be G. Coming out that last 4 bars of the verse or intro we're still in, basically, be a G to the F to the C and another C. Once you've got that down, we're good. I mean that's going to be your intro. So again, intro C for 4 measures, F for 2, A minor for 2, right? And then we're going to go G for 1. F for 1 to the C for 2. And the breakdown will be intro, the verse, which again, the verse and the chorus are kind of just one entity, basically. So you've got the verse, and at the very end of that verse is kind of where you go that G. Just another roll of the dice. That's really your chorus. So again, C for 4, F for 2, A minor for 2, G for 1, F for 1, C for 2. All right. Intro. You play the same thing for the verse. Okay. You're going to go right, I think it's right into the second verse. There might be a bit of a breakdown there, but it goes right into the second verse. Coming out of that second verse, we have our first change, basically. I feel like there are 2 bridges in the song. Usually you've got one, but I think there's 2 different sections here, if you want to call it that. It's going to come in to a D minor. A lot of people say E minor. I think it's going to. Well, let's play it. That's how I hear. I mean, I don't know if that's 100% correct, but we're going to go D minor for measure, C open chord, but we're getting that 6th string open in there. So we got that lower E in there for the bass. To an F, to a G. Repeat it. That C again. Now you can go either F to G again, or you can kind of do a G suspended to the G. It's up to you. That'll work. But again, the other way I've seen it, it just doesn't sound right. It seems like for that, it's got to be something other than a minor chord. Right? So from the bridge, I believe we go into verse number 3. Coming out of the verse, we go into the instrumental piano part. It's the same chord structure. You're doing this. There's no changing here. And then we come to the second bridge. A little different now because we're introducing a B flat to a D minor to the C for 2 measures. B flat to a D minor. And again, I think here it's going to be like a G suspended to a full G. So I'll play it. That's up to you. I think that's how I hear it. There's a lot going on in the song, so sometimes it gets a little muddy for me, and I just can't hear all the I guess, just those frequencies in a way. So it just, but that's really it. So you come out of that, we go into verse number 4. But verse number 4, instead of we're kind of doing this, we're just going to be kind of, if you're playing this solo, you could still strum it, but just watch your dynamics. You want to kind of bring it down here. If you're playing in full band, what you can do here, more picking single notes. Right, so make it your own, but that's kind of the foundation for the song, I think. I'm sure there's a couple of little things here that maybe I didn't touch upon, but if you want to just kind of strum it, play along to it, I think you've got it here. Again, the only difference I hear is that going into that first bridge from a D minor, a lot of people say E minor. I don't know, I'm hearing a C with the E, a C major with that E in the bass. I like that better than this. That's just me. I think it works better, especially if you're doing a solo acoustic. And quite honestly, 99.9% of the people won't even notice it because you're playing the same notes, sort of. It's just how you're throwing them together. But that's how I would do it. And then the only other thing I can add to this is that there isn't really a solo, but if you listen, you hear kind of those fills. It's really just kind of based out of that A minor pentatonic box. I think. That's what I hear. So enjoy it. It's a fun one. It really is. So it's kind of ones you can kind of, people looking to hear like a deep cut from Springsteen. This could be the one to play. So I like it. A good tune. Doesn't get the recognition maybe it should all the time. But it's a fun one to play. Enjoy it. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. What's up, folks? Richie, 6-String Fun. Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Another Springsteen one for you. I don't think I have done this one before. I know the intention was there, but I don't think I have. This Hard Land, Bruce Springsteen. Probably most folks know it from the Greatest Hits compilation back in 95 with that reformation of the E Street Band. So we'll get into this one. Very, very straightforward. G, C, D, and a G suspended 4 kind of in there if you can do it. If not, don't worry about it. But that's it. There's a lot of harmonica in this song, and if you stick around to the end, I will attempt to play some harmonica for you. Don't hold your breath. It's not going to be fantastic, but I can show you how it's incorporated into the song using a G harp. I've kind of faked my way through it several times with the band Lost in the Flood. It worked. See how it sounds. It's been a long time, actually, since I really played it. But we'll get into it. This Hard Land, Bruce Springsteen again. The chords, like I said, are G, C, and D. And if you notice for this G chord, I'm playing it like this little, it's how Bruce does it, but we're kind of, a lot of us might play it this way, we might play it this way. I do it this way with the index finger available to hit that C note on the second string. And that's how you get that suspended G out of there. I go to the C chord and I keep my pinky on that first string, third fret as well, to the D. And if you know this song, you can already start to hear the melody. So it just kind of, it comes in on that, guitar, harmonica. And I'll be honest, this is one of those songs in his catalog I have had a very hard time getting the rhythm down, believe it or not. For whatever reason, I feel like the rhythm is really choppy in some parts. So, you can make this your own easily by coming up with a more of a steady strumming pattern, with, if you're playing harmonica as well. But that's just how I've kind of always looked at it that way. So, it sounds off at times. That's your rhythm pattern for the intro, and you'll go around twice doing that, right? And then when it comes back in to the verse, it's going to come in on the C. So if we're coming out of the intro into the verse. So on that G, that transition, like between that G and that C is when the vocals come in. So hey there, mister, right? So it's... Tell me what happened, the seeds I've sown. That's kind of the rhythm part. That transition right into that first verse with the lyrics. For some reason, it was always hard for me to kind of get that timing down. But when you do, you're going to play that pattern twice. Just like the intro, basically. So you can do that twice. It just... going from C to the G to the D, back to the G, repeat, C to the G to the D to the G, suspended G. All right, so again, basic chords, like if you're kind of new to the chords, again, that G chord, 3-2, open, 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 3, the C, 3-2, open, 1, 3, and that D, open, 2, 3, 2, and that G suspended. It's just like the G, but we're adding our index finger to that first fret, second string. All right, now once you've got that down, that piece of it, you are repeating the verse 3 times in a row. So that progression, so intro, and then that progression we just did 3 separate times right in a row. Okay? And then you're going to come into the harmonica solo, which pretty much mimics the verse for the most part. So it's really not changing a lot. It's a very straightforward song. So if we're coming out of the chorus... So again, that's me attempting the harmonica, but I'll get into that a little bit later. And you're going to repeat that. So this song really just keeps repeating over and over, very much like the river. There's certain parts of it that continuously repeat. So different sections. So think of it that way. And you're going into verse 4 and verse 5. So there really isn't a chorus in this song. I guess kind of like Thunder Road, where there isn't really a chorus. But you kind of, meet me in the land, this hard land. That's the chorus, but it's really not musically, I don't think. So anyway, that just keeps repeating. So really what this song is, it's the verse played 6 times in a row, if anything. Verse 1, intro, verse 1, verse 2, verse 3, harmonica solo, which is still the verse. verse 4, verse 5, and then the outro. The only real difference in this tune is at the very end, the last verse, when you're coming in on this D. And I'm just going to play it until I can find it. It's coming. And meet me in a dream of this hard. So when you get to that line of meet me in a dream in this hard land, that D you're going to extend for a couple of measures, okay? It's kind of you're holding it, doing nothing more than holding it. And then the outro was just repeating everything all over again with some harmonica in there. So if you have a G harp, you can pretty much fake your way through this. Look, I anytime you see me playing harmonica, I've been making it up as I go along. And we will continue to do that today. So I've had this brace for a while here. Did I even do it right? Yeah. G harp is in here. And what I'll do is, I'll just kind of throw together some notes. You can hear it with the acoustic guitar. But it comes in again. It comes in on the G. And it's, again, I'm not a harmonica expert, so I'm not even going to try to tell you this is how you do it. Fake it till you make it. So... Thank you. Good night. That's all I can give you, because that's really what it is. So it's just kind of a couple notes over and over again, just like the guitar. The outro, I guess, again, same kind of strumming pattern, but I think the notes on the harp are going a little bit higher. Let's try it. Wasn't terrible, but I have to go back and listen to this, and then we'll think of something maybe different. I don't know. Anyway, that's how I would do it. So if you got harmonica, you can get away with that. I don't know. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it helps you out. It's a fun song. I like it a lot. It's a deep cut. So if somebody calls out, hey, play some Springsteen at your next gig, not sure I'd bust that one out, because it could be a killer, basically, but if you're playing in front of a big Springsteen crowd, you should know it. So hopefully you enjoyed it. See you guys on the next one. Thanks very much. Bye.